Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Peace be upon you all. Yeah, thank you all for coming. I support and may God help us all. I seek refuge against the accursed devil. This is my way I invite to Allah by perception, I and whoever follows me, and glory be to Allah, for I am not among the idol worshippers or idolaters. Brother Zulfikar, I see you. Peace to you. So now we go. So we seem to have some enemies within us. And you can see the title I wrote, The No Ritual Quranists. They call themselves Quran alone, but they are within us. The hypocritical aspect is that we don't attack such people. We're the one who claim. Look, when we say ritual, we are not in line with what the Sunnis, the Shias, the Tijaniyas are talking about. You can never be a spiritual person in religion without having a ritual connection with God. It doesn't work. And I swear to God, may God bear me witness, any person who claims he's part of religion, faith with God, and you don't have a ritualistic aspect with God, you don't have a spiritual aspect with God, you are kaput. Look, you can never survive in the real world. There is sorcery out there. There is witchcraft out there. There is, you mention it, a lot of evil out there. You can never survive if you don't have a spiritual aspect of connection with God, and you don't have a ritual aspect connected with God. Wallahi lazim, you will never make it. You will never survive. You tell me, those hypocrites out there, when they are attacked spiritually, they will never tell you. When they are attacked spiritually, please look for them. You will see what they are facing spiritually. So I will break down the instant you understand what I'm saying. When such hypocrites start infiltrating people in among us, be warned. Wallahi, those people are aimless in their life. Wallahi lazim. I'm not joking with you. Those people who hate you for performing a ritual in Islam, and then they tell you you are hell-bound, wallahi, they have no future in this thing we call faith. I'm not joking with you. I've been there. I know what it feels to be spiritually connected with God. I know what it means to be ritually connected with God. We are not telling you come and follow the Sunnis. We are not telling you come and practice what the hadith is telling you. But I'm going to set somebody as a scapegoat on the screen. Then you understand where babashuaib is coming from, right? You understand my point. So let's start with how they cry foul. Marwan Divaj, how these people cry foul of not getting attention, not getting viewers. People don't pay attention to them because in the real world, you make no sense when you go and tell people there's no ritual. A sound person is looking at you, is like, what? They can never take you serious. We are not saying go and devote all your faith about ritual. No, but that's not what we are saying. This is not what we are saying. There is a righteousness aspect of doing good, being part of humanity. You understand? Building a community, building a society, being God conscious, but you need to have that private moment with God, just like Zechariah had a private moment with God. You need that. Don't let any foolish person out there tell you, no, you can't have that connection. I'll break that down for you. So let's start with how they cry foul. Because babashuaib and the MFG, we are getting the attention from the right sounded-minded people, and then these people are crying foul. It's a pity. But let's see why they are crying foul. So let me start with this mega mind. So now see how somebody is crying.
For some odd reason, I mean, we've been doing this for a while, but like we need to obviously have a better reach out there, man. I don't know where we're failing, but we need to have a better reach, especially now that we have people that call themselves Quran alone. But let's be honest, they're semi-Sunnis at best.
So you see this mega mind guy, he's crying foul because he's not getting attention. People are not listening, taking him seriously. And he's only hurt because babashuaib and MFG are getting the right attention from the people, and people are waking up. Now, guys, be serious. When you watch us in the video, does it look like we are here to joke with your conscience? Does it look like we are playing with your conscience? I'm serious. When you what does it look like we are here to play with your conscience? Okay. So I'm going to break down these instances, and I'm going to show you some things that even at the time of the prophet, we have believers who became hypocrites because they tried to infiltrate and cause division. babashuaib, I've been doing my videos. I don't make videos and attack any Quranist group or insult any Quranist group or call any Quranist group and call you are Sunnis, semi-Sunnis. I don't do such videos. I don't tell you are going to hell because you said, okay, you don't agree with the ritual salat, so you are going to hell. I don't do that. So I'm going to put this guy as an example. I'll show you all the things he's been saying on social media. babashuaib, sometimes I see whatever is going around me, I just act like I don't see it. I'm a human being too. So people send me videos, they send me pictures. I'm up to date, right? Now people are burning inside because babashuaib, MFG, we are getting the right attention, right platforms. People are willing to listen to us. Go and watch my discussion with Grayson Brook. You go and watch my discussion with Grayson Brook. The feedback coming out is something we need in the real world, so that we can get the people to be ready to listen to what God has to tell them. But then when you have other group, just because you are being favored by God, you are getting good coming your way, you have other group among you who are already hurt and pained because people are willing to listen to you, and they are like, no, we can't tolerate this kind of people. Semi-Sunnis, we are not Sunnis. We don't call ourselves semi-Sunnis. You are giving us the name semi-Sunnis, claiming we follow hadith, right? No problem. So now, let me play this video and see something. I play this video to show you how these kind of people, when they are saying things, let me tell you how they stand. Now check this.
African. You're African American. Don't say to me, don't speak to me about Arabic, bro.
What do that mean?
Because I'm more likely to know Arabic than you are. That's okay.
This same person, when you are talking to him and you bring in the notion of Arabic language, he says, here we go again. You want to start your Arabic, whatever. This same person, he goes talking to a black American and he's telling the black American, hey, don't talk to me about Arabic. I'm Eastern African, so I'm more likely to know Arabic than you are. Wow.
Okay, so then why aren't you using any Arabic then? Use your Arabic. And many of the people you're talking about with their dialects and differences in the language are people who came way after the prophet and never met him or spoke a language he could understand. So what you're doing is you're mixing a whole bunch of stuff from outside the Quran, and then you're taking that to understand context in the Quran. You're using hadith narrations. You're using what people say and didn't say. Did you not post a hadith narration to make your point today?
What was the point of the hadith narration?
He used hadith to make a reference point, and the brother is pointing fingers to him. Why do you use hadith books? When we say hadith, the external sources the sectarians have created. He used hadith to prove his point. He went to use books of poems and a lot of things outside the context of the Quran, borrowed those meanings and bring it back to the Quran. And now he is saying, listen, he is asking Brother Karim, this is Karim. He's asking Brother Karim that what is wrong with using hadith? He doesn't see anything wrong with using hadith. Listen carefully. I'm repeating that part.
hadith narration to make your point today.
What was the
You're
point of the
following
hadith narration?
You're following hadith. You're following people. So now, what ayat? You're saying that there's no ayat in the Quran that means to pray. That's what you're saying.
So in this short segment, I do have the full video, by the way. This happened some couple of years ago. In this segment, this guy goes on online when he tells people salat means commitment. Tomorrow you see him, he says salat means following closely. Then the next day you see him saying salat means connection. But you never see him using salat means prayer, even though if you go to the etymology of the word, prayer exists in the meaning of salah. Prayer is there. What is prayer? Prayer is the act of communicating with a deity. So when you communicate with a deity, it's a connection. Are you getting the understanding here? When you communicate with a deity, just like if you want to understand the main essence of prayer in the Quran, go to Quran chapter 3, verse 38 to 39. Go and check when Zechariah, he invoked God standing in prayer by calling God. You understand? That is another aspect of Salah. So the word is not only limited to prayer. Yes, we agree. It doesn't only limit. If you take any word in Arabic language, the meaning of a word in Arabic language is not limited to one meaning. That we agree. But to say prayer doesn't exist in the Quran, you are the dumbest fool ever. To say there is no concept of prayer in the Quran. Are you getting my point? Okay. So let me take you to, this guy didn't see any problem with using hadith. But then he sat somewhere calling us that we are followers of hadith. And he said, these guys are following hadith. By the way, let me show you some of his comments before I move on. Let me show you some of the things he says against us to show you how these people cause division within the Quran alone. Followers who claim to follow God, these people cause the division. Now check this. I'm going to show you something. Maybe I should use slides. Okay. Let me take picture slides. I want to show you something. Bear with me here. And I go here. So I share the screen. So let me know if it's clear enough. If it's not clear enough, then I'll find a different means to share the screen. I hope you can see the screen for those on Facebook and YouTube. So now, this guy went on a comment session. This was when I was having a stream with MFG. This is Muhammad from God's channel. People should make it bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Guys, can you see? Give me if it can be seen. Just, I want to show you some of the comments. And beware of such people if you think they are your role model. You think they are leading you to something good. People who want to cause division. They are not people to be trusted at all. This guy went ahead. He says, this is why I call them semi-Sunnis. Why? Because we say there's a ritual aspect of Islam. We are not saying everything in Islam is ritualistic. No. We are not saying that. But we are saying there's a ritual aspect in Islam. Remember that. And babashuaib is going to prove this before this program ends. Yes, and I will throw the challenge. Let them, my phone number is always there. Let them call. Let's have a dialogue here. babashuaib has a platform. Come. I know they are scared of my platform. I don't know why they are scared. To be honest. You just tell them babashuaib is calling you. You will see. They will be running away, say, no, I'm not going to. Let him come. Nobody knows you. Come here. Come and disprove babashuaib on his platform. That's the challenge. Come. So that my audience will see that I'm lying, right? Or I'm a semi-Sunni. Come. So now, this guy is telling her friend, he says, this is why I call them semi-Sunnis. He is calling me and MFG semi-Sunnis. No problem. Let's go to the next picture. The next picture, Let me maximize the next picture. Guys, can you see the page? In the next picture, he said, you hear this? I am going to war with these guys. So somebody will say, babashuaib, why are you dealing with this guy? Why are you dealing with him? Yeah, this is the reason. I'm showing you the reasons why I'm dealing with him. Right? But as for me calling, say, mega mind, I will explain to you why mega mind. I'm not insulting him. You hear this? I am going to war. Now imagine somebody, you call yourself a Quran alone follower. Just because we said there's a ritual aspect of Islam. You said there's no ritual aspect of Islam. Where is the war? You claim you follow the Quran. No problem. We are not upset with you. Follow your Quran. Do your following closely. Your commitment. Your connection. I don't know. I beg to differ. I don't know how you do it though. You're following closely. If whether you're flying, I don't know. Whether you are swimming with it, I don't know. But to say you go to war with us, for which reason? Oh, because they are ritual, they are semi-Sunnis. So I'm going to war. Oh, okay, maybe you need attention. babashuaib, you know how I deal with mushriks. If I have to deal with you internally, I'll mess you up. And I'm doing this so that you respond. Give me a call. Don't worry. Correctional officer doesn't bite. The next picture. This guy says, I didn't call for war. He said he's going to war with babashuaib and MFG. Let's go to the next picture. The next picture is this. Oh, sorry. The next picture. Let me put this one here. So the next picture, this is what he wrote. Let me maximize it. Somebody will say, babashuaib, why are you dealing with this mega mind guy? Okay, so now I go to the picture. I'm going to show you something. So this is what he said about me. Guys, can you see the screen? So he said, this Shuaib guy will never get anywhere as long as he keeps forcing prayer on the word salat. This Shuaib guy will never, you listen to the word, will never get anywhere as long as he keeps forcing prayer on the word salat. I have had enough. I'm going to do a video on Qibla tomorrow. Where did your Qibla video end up? Atonsium. It fell in the water. Okay, anyways. So somebody will say, babashuaib, why are you coming against this mega mind guy? Yes, I'm coming against him because he stepped on my toes. And you know, correctional officer, when somebody steps on my toes, I don't let you go scot-free. babashuaib has never, ever been scared of anybody except God. I'm serious. If babashuaib is out there dealing with the mushriks, you think if I have a cockroach within our midst, I will leave him, I will let him go scot-free? Seriously. No problem. Let's go to the next picture. The next one is the next picture. Let me put this one. So the next picture, this is what he said before I play to you another video. This is what he said concerning hadith. He said, yeah, let me maximize it. So the next picture is this one. And this is what he said concerning us. I hope you can see the screen. He says they just dislike hadith, creating their own hadith. He says we dislike hadith and we create our own hadith. But yet I just played a video of him telling you there's no problem with hadith. He posted hadith to justify the act of following closely. Even poems. This guy go to the extent of using poems and even saying to the extent of saying before Islam. I'll show you the video. This guy never knew that Islam has been in existence before Prophet Muhammad. He said before Islam. I'm going to show you. So he says they just dislike hadith, creating their own hadith. Really? Okay, so the funniest picture I'm going to show you now is when he said somebody is going to hell. So here, in this picture, he said, okay, let me make it bigger so I can move the page. He was replying to somebody. He says, this is not a sports team. Calm down with your cheerleading speech. And he's very rude in speech. For people who know Megamind, he's very rude in speech. I'm serious. So some people were surprised that I had a dialogue with him and it was respectful. Yes, I did it for a reason. Because you know, babashuaib, you have watched my dialogues. When I have dialogue, I can have dialogues with any type of person in this universe. And I know how to comport myself when I'm dealing with, no matter how ignorant, arrogant a person can be. babashuaib, I can comport myself. Yes, I know how to do that for the sake of the listeners. So I had a dialogue with him back and forth twice. Then I found out that no, he's of no value. So I'm like, okay, let me leave him on the side. Because I realized the guy is ignorant. Even in Arabic language, he's ignorant. He doesn't even know. The guy doesn't even agree with rules in a language. If he speaks a word, you ask him, where did you get this word from? He doesn't want to show you where the source is. He just guesses along the way. And wallahi, I'm not saying against him. I will prove to you why I say he guesses the meanings of things going forward. If you have this guy as a role model, you are out. Now, let me tell you. Now, look here. He says, this is not a sports team. Calm down with your cheerleading. He says, stick around. You might learn to tell truth. Maybe you want to say to tell the truth. Then he says, Rashad, he's talking about Rashad Khalifa. Now, listen what he says. This guy sends people to hell. He said what? He said Rashad, he's talking about Rashad Khalifa. For the submitters watching, your Rashad Khalifa, according to this guy, Rashad Khalifa is going to hell. But he's going to put us also, the one who says there's a ritual aspect in Islam, he's going to put us to hell. Look what he said. He says Rashad is hell-bound, and anyone that claims that there is rituals in the Quran will join him. Ladies and gentlemen, babashuaib is not making this up. This is the evidence on the screen. He said Rashad Khalifa is hell-bound, and anyone, listen what he says, and anyone that claims that there is rituals, there is rituals in the Quran is also hell-bound. He says, don't lie about the words of God. Oh, thank you. We shouldn't lie, right? But then here you are lying. You say there's no rituals in the Quran. babashuaib is going to prove to the audience, and I dare you. Give me a call. I will set you up this time. No joke, to be honest. I'm going to set you up. And this time I'm setting you up so that the mushriks, will now take you to do a campaign against the no ritual Quranists. Seriously, I'm not joking. Kagani. So now, where's the last picture before I play his video? So he said Rashad Khalifa is going to hell. This is Mr. Megamind. Rashad Khalifa going to hell, hell-bound. When we tell you somebody is hell-bound, he's already destined for hell, going to hell. Then he said anybody claiming that there is a rituals in the Quran is also going to hell. Are you seeing this? That's why I'm called the correctional officer. I can see everything. I'm watching everything. Correctional officer uses your own words against you. That is my biggest weapon. And especially in a live dialogue. I have his videos to play to you. I will show you that he doesn't know anything. Wallahi. So if you think this guy will be taken seriously in the real world, that's a joke. Nobody will take him serious. And I'll show you why. They don't take him serious. This guy goes to Speaker's Corner. They make him look like a fool. To be honest. If you have this guy as a role model, think twice. So now I go to the next. So this guy says Rashad Khalifa is going to hell, right? And any person following the Quran who says there's rituals in the Quran is going to hell. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you a word on the screen. The guy says whoever says there's rituals in the Quran is going to hell. Okay. So now let's check rituals. Quran chapter 5 verse 2. In Quran chapter 5 verse 2, let me put it on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Check this word. That is Quran chapter 5 verse 2. Remember, the bozo says, anybody who says there is rituals in the Quran, you are going to hell, right? Okay. So now, this is the verse. He says, "Oh, you who believe, do not deserve the rituals of God, nor the sacred month, nor the sacrifice, nor the colors, nor the custodians of the what? Sacred house, who are seeking the favor of their Lord and approver. And when you are freed, and hunt, and do not wrong yourselves by hating a people that repelled you from the sacred mosque, lest you will transgress, but cooperate in righteousness and piousness, and do not cooperate in sin and aggression, and beware of God. Indeed, God is severe in penalty." Now, what I want you to pay attention is the word Sha'a'ir Allah. This word Sha'a'ir Allah, ladies and gentlemen, can you see the word on the screen? This word Sha'a'ir Allah, this word means rituals. Literally, it means rituals. And this is the plural form. The singular form is Sha'ira. Sha'irat or Sha'ira. That is the singular form, right? Okay, let me take it in full mode, right? I think the screen is a bit, okay. Aha. Yeah, thanks, bro. Yes. So this is the word. Sha'ira. That is the word. It's found in Quran chapter 5 verse 2. And you find it again in Quran chapter 2 verse 158. And you find it in Quran chapter 22 verse 32. And you find it in Quran chapter 22 verse 36. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. I do have the classical Arabic dictionaries, right? I do have them. But however, to save time, to give you the chance to verify things for yourselves, right? Let's go here. I'm going to show you something. Let's go here. Let me show you something. So the word Sha'a'ira, it comes from the word Sha'irat. So I'm going to share the screen. You can go to almani.com. So then you take the word, let me see, can you see the screen? Yeah, almani.com, then you put the word Sha'ira is the singular form. So I put the word Sha'ira, Sha'irat. So then I search it. So this is the word. You can see it on the screen, right? The word Sha'ira is the singular form for the word Sha'a'ira. Sha'a'ira is plural form. Now look at the meanings on the screen. Sha'ira means ritual, rite, liturgy, ceremonial. And it keeps going. This is the extensive meanings of the word. It keeps going, it keeps going. You see the word? Then when you jump downwards, it goes general, it can mean ceremony, going down, and it goes, you see here, it can go cult rituals, it can go religious ceremonies, and so on. But it means, literally, it means ritual. That's the word, ritual. In a plural form, so let me put the word rituals. In a plural form, you see here, this is the word. For those watching the screen, in the plural form, Sha'a'ira is a plural form. So it means, literally, it means rituals. If you go in the classical Arabic, you go in the modern standard Arabic, it means rituals. That's the meaning, right? It can mean rites, rituals, because ritual is the synonym of rite, right? Religious rite, meaning R-I-T-E, right? Okay, so that is the word Sha'a'ira. It shares synonymously, it works with manasika or nusuk. This mega mind guy, he swore to God that there is no rituals in the Quran. And he said, whoever says there's rituals in the Quran is going to hell. And that is somebody who doesn't have a background in Arabic language. He has never even sat in the madrasa to learn Arabic language, more or less to talk about the Quran. Ignorant. I have dialogues with him. I'll play the video. You see why I'm saying that. So he says, no rituals in the Quran, he said. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm just showing you this word. This word can be found in the Quran. Write it down for yourself. Chapter 5, verse 2. Chapter 22, verse 36. You understand? It goes on and on. And chapter 22, verse 32 is mentioned there, Sha'air Allah. Chapter 2, verse 158, it is mentioned there, rituals of God. Because God has stipulated rituals for us. If you don't have knowledge about something, don't pursue it. It doesn't mean it's not there. Just because you are ignorant and keep playing with words the way you like. You understand? Now, so now let's go next. So the guy clearly said, whoever says there's rituals in the Quran is going to hell, is hell bound. That's what he said. I didn't say that. He said that, right? That's what he said. Let me put the picture here so people can see it again. This is what he said. He said here, he says Rashad Khalifa is hell bound, is going to hell. And anyone that claims there is rituals in the Quran will also go to hell. Then he says, don't lie about the words of God. So ladies and gentlemen, right now, who is lying? So let me tell you what they do. This type of people, especially the mega mind, who come and say, oh, that's not the only meaning. Oh, hello, that's not the only meaning. So how did you know the other meaning is the one intended in the verse and not the rituals? Hello. Or you come and tell us is that it doesn't mean like that. We are waiting. Give babashuaib a call. We'll talk about that. But let's go back again. Then he was saying this to Brother Karim. Let me show you what he said to Brother Karim. Oh, let me play it. Sorry, I played a video here. It doesn't work from there. So let me play it from here.
First and foremost,
Now I'm going to show you where he got the meaning, the word following closely from, right? How he comes up with meanings of words, right? So check how he got the meaning of the word. And that is the guy who said we are semi-Sunnis, right? So check how he got the meaning of following closely.
First and foremost, I get the term following closely from Lane's lexicon.
Exactly.
Number one. You know,
Okay.
that's one area.
Okay.
The other area is there's a few poems of this guy. I forgot his name, but I'll find it. Some Arab knight that was before Islam. There's a few poems where he uses the word salat, and the word salat is consistently used as following closely.
In the Lane's lexicon, and what is the other source?
Poems, few poems of this Arabic knight, but I'll find his name for you.
So there's some poems from an Arabic knight, and then there's the
Yes.
Lane's lexicon where you get following closely.
There's more. There's more.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, did you see what he says? Did you see what he says? Okay, let me play the video again.
First and foremost, I get the term following closely from Lane's lexicon.
Exactly.
Number one. You know,
Okay.
that's one area.
Okay.
The other area is there's a few poems of this guy. I forgot his name, but I'll find it. Some Arab knight.
So first of all, he got the term following closely from Lane's lexicon. So even though this same Lane's lexicon gives you the meaning of salah as prayer, this same lexicon. So he decided to brush away the meaning pray because he doesn't want to pray. So he put it on the side and he chose the meaning that will fit his, agenda. Okay. So then he put it. Then again, he's showing us where he got the meaning following closely. So then he went to a poem, the book of poem, that by the Arab Nights. That's the name of the book of poem, Arab Nights, right? So he's telling you how he came out with that meaning. Okay.
That was before Islam.
Then this mega mind went ahead to say before Islam. Seriously. Before Islam. Hey, this guy thought Islam started in the 7th century. So he says he went and found a dictionary before Islam.
There's a few poems where he uses the word salat.
So he says before Islam, he went and found a poem where the one who wrote the poet who wrote this poetry, he says that this person used this word salah and it means following closely. So this is where he got the inspiration from, right? Not from the Quran, right? Okay. So now he's telling you how they came about with it. By the way, he is not the inventor of following closely. They have their likes all over online. How they form up words, which doesn't. Okay, let's go forward. Okay.
And the word salah is consistently used as following closely.
So then he says the word salah is consistently used as the word following closely. So this is where the inspiration is coming from. He's telling you.
In the Lane's lexicon, and what is the other source?
Poems. Few poems of this Arabic night, but I'll find his name for you.
So there's some poems from an Arabic night, and then there's the Lane's lexicon where you get following closely.
There's more.
Oh, there's even more. So this is how he came about with the meaning following closely. But this is where he says salah all throughout the Quran means following closely. This was what he said at that time. Now check what this guy did. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to put up a picture and show you what this guy does, so you understand the caliber of person he is, right? Okay. So here, let me put this picture here. So in this picture I'm putting on the screen, this was him on Facebook. Now listen to what he said. He was telling somebody. He said, Akimus Salat is word for word in English, establish the connection. So here, he didn't say following closely. So now he says, establish the connection. I don't know if it is electricity we are going to connect here or something. So now he's not establish the following closely, because the following closely itself as a word doesn't make sense. Ask them, what does it mean? Following closely. What is the verb for following closely? They have no idea. What is the noun? These guys are confused. Now look here. He says, Akimu, the salat, is word for word in English. Hey, Akimu is an Arabic word. But he says, Akimu, the salat is word for word in English, establish the connection. This is Megamind speaking. The connection is established through the recitation of the Quran, as is evident from chapter 29, verse 45, chapter 35, verse 29, chapter 73, verse 20, chapter 62, verse 9 to verse 11, etc. Then he says there is another salat without the akimu, and that's usually from a different root. The literal translation of that salat is following closely. Hey, this guy, I don't understand. I don't understand. So now, this guy goes to the extent, after saying the salat means following closely, now it means connection. So now the connection is now different from following closely. So this guy, which Megamind, which one is which? Then he said, following closely, that is one found in chapter 11, verse 87, chapter 75, verse 31, chapter 9, verse 99, chapter 70, verse 22. So guys, I told you how he got the meaning following closely and how he's trying to push it on you guys and hate us for telling you that some aspect of salah is prayer. You can never deny that fact. Babashuaib is out there. Please find me for a dialogue on this and prove me wrong. Then he goes ahead telling somebody, lying online, telling the person that Babashuaib has been set straight many times. By who? You? Megamind? You? Hey. Let me give you Akurobeto. Where is Akurobeto? Where are you? Akurobeto, today you are hiding. Where are you? Let me see.
God have mercy upon us.
So this guy says babashuaib has been set straight many times. You? Okay. So let's go back again. Now look what he said here. Here's another picture. So I shared a screen. See what he said again. Now here, he says, number one, salat only means prayer according to hadith, nowhere else in Arabic. Ladies and gentlemen, you see that his claim? Oh, can you see it? Oh, let me maximize it. Yeah. He said, salat only means prayer according to hadith and nowhere else in Arabic. Hey, this is a heavy claim. This guy is a heavy claim you are making. Hey, hey. This guy is making a heavy claim. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, let me put it on the screen for you. He said salat only, listen, only means prayer according to hadith and nowhere else in Arabic. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go to the classical version of Arabic language, you can find Lisan al-Arab, you can find Juramiyya, there's so on, so on. I do have them in Arabic language, but it will exhaust our time, right? Okay, for those who need it, you can inbox me, I'll send it to you. Now, if you take prayer, so I put it on the screen. Which screen am I sharing? Let me share the screen. Stop this. And share this one. Now, can you see the screen here? This is Almani. It has both the collection of classical version and modern standard versions of meanings in Arabic language, right? So one of the top sites. You can also use Reverso. We have Reverso, this one. Let me put it here. Reverso. Reverso also have their collections from the classical version of Arabic and then the modern standard as well. Now, from the classical version, let's use Reverso first. If you use Reverso, I increase the page. Now look here. When you type in the word prayer, it gives you all the meanings here. You see the word salat here. It's a feminine noun. For those watching from the screen, it's a feminine noun. The word salat is a feminine noun. It's not a masculine noun, right? You see the salat where? It's synonymous with the word dua. It's synonymous with the word dua, which Zechariah was doing in Quran chapter 3, verse 38 to 39. Because the salat itself is a combination of a lot of things being done. So it is not only limited to prayer, because there's an aspect of recitation also. You can read from the book. As explained in Quran chapter 73, verse 20. فَقْرَؤُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. Read what is easy of the Quran. It's also part of it, right? Now, so this guy boldly made a claim, and he says salat only means prayer according to hadith and nowhere else in Arabic. Hey, Akwawi. Hey. Okay, this is Reverso. Let's leave Reverso again. Let's go Almani. So Almani, I share this tab. Then I write the word prayer. If you write the word prayer, this is Almani. Now look here. You see here the word salat. It's a feminine noun. You see it on the screen, right? Salat is a feminine noun. And you see the word dua, invocation, as a feminine, as a noun. And this dua is synonymous with the word salat, because in the salat you do dua. If you want to understand what I'm saying, go to Quran chapter 17 verse 110. Kul ad'ullah aw ad'ur rahman. Then he says ayyama tad'u falahu la asmaul husna wa la tajhar bi salatika wa la tukhafid biha wabtagi bayna zalika sabila. So you see the word dua in the same instance with the word salah, in the same paragraph or in the same verse. Then again, in Quran chapter 3 verse 38, concerning Zechariah, chapter 3 verse 38, you read up to 39, you will see the word da'a, meaning dua, in the same verse to 39, and salah is mentioned. You understand? Because they interchange each other. In the salat, you can do dua, and salat is prayer. What is the meaning of prayer? Prayer is the act of communicating with a deity. Then we have in the same salah where you can be reciting the verses or reading the verses to a group of people who are with you in the salah. But when you are alone, you can do dua in your salat. You establish it and communicate with God. This is the ritualistic aspect, because it didn't start with you first. It started with the prophets before coming down to you. So I'll break down what rituals mean. Okay. So this guy boldly claimed that salat only means prayer according to hadith and nowhere else in Arabic. Really? Okay, this guy, when I meet you face to face, you have to prove that. Then he says, I put this on the screen. Let's go to his claim again. Number 2. He says the term akimu is to stand, uphold, observe. Like you will observe or uphold any of your commitments. So this meaning of salat, commitment, the word commitment doesn't mean salat. However, they took it from this guy who wrote a book called Mental Bondage. There's a book called Mental Bondage. Let me see if I have it here. I'll share it on the screen. You see it. There's a book called Mental Bondage. Let me see if I can put it on the screen. Just a second. Mental Bondage here. This book, Mental Bondage, written by Aidid Safar from Canada. It was written in the year 2005. I think I have it. It's written somewhere if you have the book. Now, this is the book this guy went and read. And that is where he started this mind-boggling confusions. This guy, before he started doing videos, before he would start doing videos, he used to contact me by phone like this. He calls me from UK. And this guy, one time, he was even advocating to bring babashuaib, even on a podcast, or to invite me to UK just to come and meet him up. Wallahi lazim. Then all of a sudden, when this guy went and read this polluted book, Captain Pollution book, Mental Bondage, that is where the madness started. He would just go into the Quran, start forming meanings to words. No, look, I did a dialogue with him. If you are honest and you need the truth, go and watch the dialogue. If I ask him a question, he doesn't have a source. He doesn't have evidence. He just keep guessing. I only did the dialogue so that the video can remain. I'll play the evidence. You see it. He doesn't know anything. Wallahi lazim. Let him give babashuaib a call. I'm waiting. You don't do babashuaib, correctional officer. This time, no mercy. Okay, let's go. So let's go back to the picture. He was making a claim. Oh, sorry. What? Yeah, this is the picture. So he said, this is where they got the meaning commitment. They got it from Aidad Safar's book, Mental Bondage. The guy just invented new meanings. The guy even said bait never means house, it means system. Okay, no problem. Number 3, the salat observed lazily is the following closely of the messenger. So now, which one is the connection and which one is the following closely? Okay, so now he says, now, Allah, mega mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you some inconsistencies in this guy's claims, right? If you are following a kind of person who will keep assuming things, be careful. And when I say he's assuming things, let me show you the reason why I say he's assuming. He's guessing. I'm going to show you the reason why I said that. Let me put the video here so that you understand why I say he is guessing things only. Listen to this video.
Go on, tell us anyway. What about the verse, brother?
There's this word, Sibghatullah, and this word has been used twice in the Quran, just in the same verse. So, pigment, color, is it like the essence of Allah? Is it like, what is it?
I don't know. I haven't looked this one up.
So he's been asked about Sibghatullah. The guy asked him, because the guy they think this guy is knowledgeable. So he's asking him, Sibghatullah, what does it mean? He says, I don't know. Let's look at the verse. I wondered which kind of, if these guys, the Quranists, the Quran alone followers who claim there's no ritual in Islam, do they have any Quran which is completed, translated with the following closely and every? I want to see that Quran they are using. That Quran, which they have that perception, there's no ritual, that full Quran. Please, if anybody has that copy of the Quran, babashuaib needs it. I need it. I want to put it on the screen for people. Please. Anybody belonging to these mega mind groups, and you say you have your fully translated Quran and it has the concept of following closely, whatever connection, whatever, there's no ritual. I want to see your Ramadan, your Siyam. I want to see your Hajj, the debate you go and do. You say every year is debate. Hajj means debate. I want to see the fully translated book. Please contact babashuaib. Send me the copy. I want to examine it. A full book. If you don't have it, don't go listen to this mega mind guy guessing words for you. I'm going to show you how he guessed the meanings of words. You check it.
It was like, even I just heard one guy talk about it, and that's the only time I've heard this thing being discussed.
Okay, well, this particular translation says the system or code of God, and who is better than God's code.
Oh, is it like a matrix? Maybe.
So it's his code, it says. So let me go to the word for word.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Following Closely is going for word. He's going to find dictionary and go for word. Ladies and gentlemen, so now he is going for the word dictionary. Listen carefully. He was sitting, the guy asked him, what is the meaning of Sibghatullah? He says, I don't know. So now he is going to find the word, and after finding the word meaning, he is going to guess. You watch it.
So it comes from Sabara. It's code of law, religion, nature. Dye is in there. Color, baptize, dip, immerse, assume the attribute, condiment, sauce, relish. So those are the meanings of the word.
Okay, so now he went to a dictionary, lexicon. He found all the meanings to the word. Remember, words have meanings. I'm not saying it. Even this guy agrees words have meanings. And you cannot just bring out any meaning to a word just like because you like it. Listen to what he said. I'm going to give you a video of him. Listen what he said carefully so that you see the hypocritical aspect of this kind of people. Listen. Where's the video? Oh, sorry.
What I do is...
Okay, that's a video here. So let me put it on the screen. This video.
As far as I'm concerned, words have definitions. You cannot apply whatever you want to words. The definition of a messenger is one who delivers a message. That is the definition of a messenger. What I do is, as far as I'm concerned, words have definitions. You cannot apply whatever you want to words. The definition of a messenger is one who delivers a message. That is the definition of a messenger. What I do is, as far as I'm concerned, words have definitions. You cannot apply whatever you want to words. The definition of a messenger is one who delivers a message. That is the definition of a messenger.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard what Megamind said. He says, as far as he is concerned, words have meanings, and you cannot apply whatever you want. Listen what he said. You cannot apply whatever you want to a word because it already had meanings. You came and met it. That's why we have etymology of words. We can trace the branch going back to the roots, and we see how it evolves. It becomes something else. That's why tree, when you grow a seed, when you plant a seed, it grows, it germinates, it has stem, and it creates branches, and the branches bear fruits. The fruit is not the seed. The fruit is not the tree, but the fruit is connected to the tree. That's how words evolve, right? So a word coming from something, from another word, does not mean they mean the same thing. If a word is coming from another word, you can only help to trace the word and see his parents, the ancestors of the word. But it does not make that word mean the same word when it became a fruit. So what the analogy of what I'm giving you is, the breakdown is in Quran chapter 14. In Quran chapter 14, verse 24, this is what God says. Have you not seen how God cites the example of a good word, like a good tree whose root is fixed and its branches are in the sky? Verse 25, its fruit occurs all the time by the permission of its Lord. And God cites the examples for the people, perhaps they will take heed. So that is like a good word. A good word has a root, that's a root word, right? So it germinates and starts creating branches. So when you study the etymology of words, it takes you back to how words evolve, and it is used in a context or in a concept based on a timeline, what it means at that time. Okay, so let's go back. So when I played the video, you heard what he said. He said words have meanings. They have definitions. So you can't just apply whatever you want to a word. It doesn't work like that. But let's go and listen to this guy.
So I guess, so if you was to...
So ladies and gentlemen, after taking the word from the dictionary, he says, I guess. So he's going to guess the meanings to what the Quran says. Now he's okay, let's go.
Say, for example, the color of God, and who is better than God's color? And we are to him servants. I guess you could understand what color is meant in this particular context.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more like a system, basically, like you adapt his system.
Yeah. So color can be someone's ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you see how they guess through the meanings. He says, I guess the word meaning is color. And then he says color is can mean someone's ways. And then the other guy said it can mean system. Then he said, yeah. So let's go.
So yeah.
Just keep guessing along the way. That's how they get the meaning. Let's go.
More like an aura.
Would you reckon the rendition of that is coloring, immersion? I mean, I've seen a few different versions on there. Do you have any kind of Arabic
for this particular verse
significance to it? Or
for this particular verse?
Yeah, this particular one where it says about the coloring of God or the immersion of God or the code of God.
I mean, personally, I think the context seemed to suggest that it's speaking of the code of God. You see? So, for example, if we read the verse before.
So now he goes to the extent of saying personally. Now he's going to give you his personal opinion. Look.
The code of God.
I mean, personally, I think the context seemed to suggest that it's speaking of the code of God.
So now, I mean, personally, I think the context seems to be suggesting that it's speaking about the code of God. This is how they come up with meanings for you, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, personally, I think, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Quran chapter, let me show you something. Quran chapter 10, verse 36. God says, وَمَا يَتَّبِعُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ إِلَّا ظَنَّ إِنَّا ظَنَّ لَا يُغْنِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ شَيْئًا. Then he says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ أَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَفْعَلُونَ. And most of them follow only assumption. And indeed, assumption does not avail against the truth at all. Indeed, God is aware of what they do. Let's go back.
You see? So, for example, if we read the verse before, if they believe as you do, then they are guided. But if they turn away, then they...
What baffles me is they don't, in their tiny space, they don't have translation of the Quran, the full translation of the Quran. This group of Quran alone followers who say there's no, they don't have a Quran, fully translated Quran. What he does is he goes online, Sahih International, or he goes to any Quran he finds randomly. Then he says, I'll just read the context above and down, and then we have to guess the meaning. That's what he does. So I'm going to show you what he does.
They are in opposition. God will spare you their opposition. He is the hearer, the omniscient. Such is God's system, and whose system is better than God's? Him alone we serve. Say, do you argue with us about God when he is our Lord and your Lord? We are responsible for our deeds, and you are responsible for your deeds. To him alone we are devoted. Considering that context,
it's a declaration of your belief.
There you go. You see,
hey, mega mind. So when somebody just gives an opinion, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's like that. That's the meaning. I wish this mega man guy would translate the fully translated Quran and bring it to us. Let's examine and see. I'm serious. This guy can never be taken seriously in the real world. I'm not joking with you. Wallahi lazim. Nobody will take this guy seriously.
What I always do, I really don't have any particular sophisticated trick or anything of the.
Thank you. So now he's telling you how he approaches the Quran. He doesn't have any particular sophisticated way of approaching the Quran, which means he doesn't have any unique knowledge of approaching the Quran. So what he does is he's going to tell you what he does.
Anything of the kind. I simply just pay attention to the immediate context and the.
How do you simply pay attention to the immediate context when you don't understand even Arabic? Because it has been translated from Arabic to English. Who told you the translation you are reading is even right? If you are sitting up there saying you are going to lead the people, and then because we are trying to pull people away from the mushriks, and you are agitated, you are infuriated, because babashuaib and MFG, we are getting the right-minded people to listen to us, you are now hurt, claiming that we are semi-Sunnis, claiming that you go at war. You are not even up to that level to go at war with correctional officer. I'll mess you up, wallahi lazim. And this is why I'm dirtying you in the mud right now. You are a hypocrite. Yes. If we are fighting a bigger enemy out there, will you come out there attacking us? Don't you have our phone numbers? Can't you call us privately? Let's have a discussion. Why will you go attacking us in the public? You are a mega mind. Yeah. babashuaib, I have no mercy for a hypocrite. And I'm not doing this so that people will sympathize and say, oh, babashuaib, you should have done. Let me show you why I cannot do it any other way. In Quran chapter 66, verse 9, this is what God told the prophet. I will show you something. This is what God told the prophet in Quran chapter 66, verse 9. God told the prophet, oh, you prophet, fight the disbelievers and the hypocrites and be rough against them, for their refuge is hell, and wretched is the destiny. It is only a hypocrite who will go out there. You know, we share the same values, even though we have differences a bit. Why go out there attacking us? Why go out there calling us semi-Sunnis and saying we are going to hell because we believe in the aspect of ritual in the Quran? Yes, you said there's no word ritual. I showed the people on the screen. Let everybody investigate the word. Go to the etymology of the word, sha'ira. Go and check. Rituals are in the Quran. And I dare any of you saying there's no ritual in the Quran, face babashuaib, let's see. If you last and be sensible for a bit, we are going to see that day. Wallahi lazim, I will mess you up. Yeah, no mercy for the hypocrite within. Wallahi. Sha'ira, chapter 5, verse 2. Check it. Yeah, Liman Imrana, salam to you. He's from Somalia. By the way, Somalians are my people. I love Somalians a lot. They are my people, you know. I have even people who watch me and they follow my programs from Somalia. They do love what I do. All right? So the guy says there's no ritual. We are not saying come and do what Sunnis are doing. We are not saying come and do what Shia or Tijaniya or Ahmadiyya are doing. We base our evidence from the Quran. If you don't agree, that's up to you. How can you foolishly go out there typing bullshit against us, insulting us in the public? Then the enemy is watching and laughing. Ha, ha, ha. I don't consider you as my partner when you do this to us in the public. Wallahi lazim. Just because we have disparaging views. Look what God says concerning believers in the Quran. Let me show you something. Somebody will say, oh, guys, why is there, it seems like division is happening. It feels like division is happening. Let me tell you why division is going to happen. It happened in the time of the prophet. Because of hypocrites, division happened. Always divisions happens because of hypocrites within. And I will show you how hypocrites do. babashuaib, I've always presented myself for anybody having disparaging views with what I have. Come, let's have a dialogue. I've never run away from anybody. Ask the mega mind himself. babashuaib never runs away from anybody. I make myself available for dialogues. If it's a mushrik, if it's a pagan, I don't care who you are. Let's have a dialogue because I want to establish the truth. And we can only do that with the words of God. But hypocrisy, imposters among us, infiltrating groups, calling people names, I'm retaliating. Look, people will think, oh, why are you calling him mega mind? Why are you doing this? Let me show you why I do that. So first of all, God told the prophet, fight the disbelievers and the hypocrites because they are within. If you don't fight them, it doesn't work. And when I say fight, it doesn't mean physically. We can fight with you logically, based on knowledge, based on intellect. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Here, Quran chapter 49, verse 9. In Quran chapter 49, verse 9, this is what the verse says. It says, and if two factions of believers should fight. Why do you think God is saying if two factions of believers should fight? Because believers can fight. It is inevitable. It can happen. Yes, believers can fight because we are human beings. Yes. So God is giving the solution to fighting. If two factions of believers should fight, then reconcile between them. How do we reconcile? By settling our differences. Let's sit down and have a fruitful dialogue. That's how it is. But you go to the extent when this same mega mind didn't agree with the word sujud. I gave all the evidence. I have a lecture on it. You say you don't agree it's physical. That's up to you. Go and keep doing your following closely and not physical sujud. Do that. We are not against you. We don't attack you in public. You go in the public attacking us, calling us names, and saying you are at war. Or you just hate babashuaib because you are not doing better anyway. People are not listening to you. People never took you seriously. So now you are hurt. Hey. And you go attacking MFG also. Why? What is wrong with you? So now God says, but if one of them assaults the other. Then fight the one that aggresses until it returns. We didn't start the aggression. You started. You say you are at war with us because we have a ritual aspect. You don't agree. Then keep doing your following closely. Right? Keep doing your following closely. Then fight the one that aggresses until it returns. Then he says what? To the what? The command of God. Then he says, and if it returns, then reconcile between them. Then he says what? In justice and be equitable. Indeed, God loves those who are equitable. You said you are going to do your following closely. babashuaib, I don't have issue with you. I can speak on it, but I don't attack anybody. I don't insult. Look, I have people who do following closely, and I'm on good terms with them. There is how do you call it? There is this elder. How do you call him? Hamza Malik. Hamza Malik, I'm good with elder. Hamza Malik is like a father to me. Look, we are on good terms. We never fight, even though we have some disagreement, but we don't fight about anything. Hamza Malik, you will never see Hamza Malik doing video attacking me, calling me a Sunni, or saying he's at war with babashuaib because babashuaib is doing ritual. You are the dumbest fool to go in public attacking, castigating us. Because we said there's a ritual aspect in Islam, and I can prove that. I will make a lecture. If God willing, if I'm not able to show it today, I'll show it next week. I'll prove it. I'll show it from the Quran. It's there. Just because you are shallow-minded in understanding the Quran doesn't mean somebody is not knowledgeable than you, and somebody cannot prove it there. If you are now learning the Quran, shut your beak and learn. And stop foolishly going out attacking other Quran alone followers who are trying their best to fight the bigger fight out there. Do you know the kind of enemies we are dealing with out there? If you were fit enough, why did you stop doing streams? And out of your foolishness, you go and sit there and say, "Oh, I'm back." Are you? That's why I call you mega mind. You are a super. You call yourself a super genius. So you came back to rescue who? So believers can fight. Yes. And we are not talking about physical fight. This is intellectual fight. If you will stop attacking us, we are good. But if you will attack us, babashuaib, you know me. Correctional officer never lets something go scot-free if you step on my toe. I'm serious. Huh? Yes. Salam, Nur Melani. Salam to you. babashuaib, I will never allow you to step on my toe, especially if you mention my name. In Ghana, if they say P, I will mess you up. You go embarrassing yourself in speaker's corner, people like Adnan Rashid and so on, embarrassing you in public. You don't even know the Quran, for God's sake. Embarrassing Quran alone followers out there. And you think people want to look at you as a role model? A role model, you go out there attacking us? Let's go to this bozo's picture where he was breaking down to his audience the salat. So let's go and check. This is the picture. I put it on the screen. Yeah. So here, he said, the salat observed lazily is, let me see, is it? Okay. The salat observed lazily is following closely of the messenger, conveying the message which is his following closely as the messenger. See chapter 62, verse 9 to 11. And yes, that required physical attendance, but not physical performance you have in mind. Hey, he's giving us the breakdown of his own hadith. So, number 4, chapter 5, verse 6 is explained by 5, verse 7. 4102. And 62, 9, 11, it's simply what was expected of the believers to do before they attend where the messenger observe his following closely / commitment. Hey, mega mind. Hey, please ask the guy, what is the meaning of salat? Is it commitment? Is it following closely? Is it a connection? What it is? Because whatever he's writing is full of gibberish. Salat, the salat, is it following closely? Is it commitment? And if it means commitment, please bring us any Arabic dictionary where salat means commitment. So commitment, and then he goes to the same following closely, which they get from the Arab Nights Dictionary of Poems. And he says before Islam. Okay, then he goes ahead. He says, and the believers following closely / commitment is to attend and to uphold what they have learned. This guy is giving his own fatwa. Number 5, he says Salat al-Fajr and Salat al-Isha applied only to the Prophet. Hey! Salat al-Fajr and Salat al-Isha only apply to the Prophet. That's what Megamind is saying. Number 4, he says chapter 5 verse 6. Remember, there is the washing. There's ghusl there, right? So he agrees with the washing. He says chapter 5 verse 6 is explained by chapter 5 verse 7. Chapter 5 verse 6. You know chapter 5 verse 6? يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا كنتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. Concerning the washing, he says chapter 5 verse 6 is explained by chapter 5 verse 7. He never told us, but this guy doesn't even look. I once had a dialogue with him on Clubhouse. He said there is no washing. It's not even physical. You don't need to use water to wash. And he says it doesn't make sense because you have to, if God wants you to wash, he will have told you to go and shower. Oh my God. So he says it applies only to the Prophet, and there are no commands for the believers pertaining to those periods. Hey, Ahmed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the Quran and then disprove him again. Quran chapter 4 verse 103. In Quran chapter 4 verse 103, let's show it on the screen, right? The guy doesn't know the Quran at all. He just keep making hibby-jibbies out of the Quran. In Quran chapter 4 verse 103, and when you have concluded the salat, then remember God standing, sitting, and on your sides. This standing, sitting, and on your sides, are they going to also say it is not literal? It's not physical also. No problem. And on your side, but when you are calm, meaning you are safe, then establish the salat. Indeed, the salat is upon the believers at decreed times. The salat is upon the believers at decreed times. Shurulini says it is a spiritual washing. You spiritually wash up to the elbows, then you wash spiritually. He says, and when you, so God is giving the believers, he says the believers, the salat is upon the believers at decreed times. When we say kitab, it is something which has been written, right? So written. So at written times, mawkut, mawakit, wakat, it means time. Mawkuta, something which has been written as a time. So it is written down. Okay. So they will tell you even hands is not literal. They will tell you wash your faces. In that verse is not literal. So to them, nothing is literal. Hey,
God have mercy upon us.
Okay. So here is God telling us that the salat has decreed times for the believers, because the believers at the time, they have attended the salat session with the messenger. So now nobody has to tell them to continue to, because that's the time. They already know. That's why they attended with the prophet. So let me give you another evidence. In Quran chapter 24, verse 58. This verse is talking to the believers. Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. This mega mind guy, he says that believers were not given salat times to do salat. Chapter 4, verse 103 gives the believers time for the salat. Then chapter 24, verse 58, again, he says, "Oh, you who believe, let those your right hands possess, and those who have not reached puberty, among you request for your authorization 3 times before the Salat al-Fajr, before the Salat of the Fajr. That is the Fajr Salat, the dawn Salat." It's telling the believers, because they are aware God has already given them decree times for the Salat. So God intentionally mentioned the name of the Salat here. Believers know that, because this verse is talking to believers. So they know there's a time for Salat al-Fajr. So then God says, before the Salat al-Fajr, and when you take off your clothes at noon, and after the evening Salat, because he's talking to the believers, so they know there is dawn Salat and there's evening Salat. Believers know that. Even the night Salat, they did it with the Prophet. Go to Quran chapter 73, verse 20. Inna rabbaka ya'lamu annaka taqumu adna min thuluthay al-layli wa nisfahu wa thuluthahu wa ta'ifatu min al-lazina ma'ak. With you, those who stand with you in the night. Because it's not only Fajr and Isha which you do the Salat. In the night also there is Salat. So believers know their times of Salat. This bozo went ahead, he says no. Ladies and gentlemen, no. The believers were not given the Salat. The Salat was, the times was only for the Prophet. That is what the bozo wrote here. So he said here, he says the Salat al-Fajr and al-Isha applied only to the Prophet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Mega Mind wrote. And he says, and there are no commands for the believers pertaining to those periods. Hey! He says, Salat al-Wusta is in a context about laws to be observed. And it is not possible to put in the middle of the context something that has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the context. That's simply not how communication works. According to which law and which rules and who stipulated this rule for you, Mega Mind? Hey, Mega Mind. You go ahead making your own rules. Hey, can't I be talking about football? Then all of a sudden, can't I switch the conversation and say, hey, don't forget the food, we'll put it in the fridge. Can't I do that? And then come back to continue my football conversation? No, communication doesn't work that way. Ladies and gentlemen, can't I be talking about football with you? Then all of a sudden, I can switch the conversation and I say, hey, don't forget to put the food in the fridge, okay? Don't forget that. Then I switch it back and then we continue our football conversation. Can't I do that? Now tell me, can't I do that? Let me see here. Yes. Thank you. So now he went ahead to say the schooling session explained above is what shortened in case of danger. Schooling session. Hey, where did God say Salat means schooling session? Hey, where does he say Salat means schooling session? Hey. And then he says 62:9 to 11 proves the schooling sessions explained above also proves it applied to the believers of that time and not today, as messengers attendance is an essential component to the context. Hey, Mega Mind. And let's go forward. Then he says, oh, sorry, let me put it up a bit. So this guy went ahead to say 17110 is addressing the messenger as its first person singular and informing him how he is to conduct his following closely / commitment. which is to convey the message. In this instance, the messenger is instructed to convey the message in a moderate tone and not loud. Ladies and gentlemen, chapter 17. Let's check here. Let's check this guy, what he's saying. He's giving his own hadith tafsir. Chapter 17, verse 110. Please, this is the verse on the screen. Where does it say schooling session? Let's check the verse. Where is the schooling session this guy is talking about? God says to the messenger, say, invoke the God or invoke the gracious. Whichever you invoke, thence to him belongs the best names. And do not be loud with your salat, nor be silent with it, but seek a way in between. So where is the schooling session in this verse, ladies and gentlemen? This guy is saying there's a schooling session in this. I don't see it. He's giving his own tafsir again. Look. Hey, mega mind. Hey, Akwawi.
For some odd reason.
Hey. So let's go back. Okay. Then again, he says the verse after in 17:111 proves it was to do with conveying the message as he instructed what to say in that moderate tone. Number 9, 4102 is simply the sessions explained above done in a moderate tone as per 17:110 and the periods explained in 1778. The messenger leads of hordes as he is the one conveying the message to the people. Then it says the session in 4102 is one where there is danger surrounding them. Hey, ergo the need to be armed and vigilant. So this is the hadith of aka Mr. Maverick, the Ahmed guy. So now let's go to his videos. I did a dialogue with him just to show you that he's empty-headed. Let me play some of the videos so you see what he stands for. You said, I share the screen. Listen to him carefully. God said, we can see the moon and the stars prostrating. And I said, he never said so. He asked you a question. Yeah, that's what brought us here.
Right. I cannot ask you, do you not see if you can't see it?
Several times in the Quran, do you not see? It's not, doesn't literally mean see with the eye. If a question comes, I can show you.
Give me an example.
Good. Open the Quran, chapter 2, verse 246.
Shu'aib, I'm telling you, the term do you not see is not possible unless it is something you actually see.
Yeah, open it, let's see.
All right, chapter 2. See, do you see to the chiefs of the children of Israel from after Moses?
Wait. Read it again. You didn't read it well.
Oh, sorry. Did you not see? Yeah. Did you not see to the leaders of children of Israel from after Moses when they said to a prophet of theirs, appoint for us a king, and we will fight in the cause of God? He said, would you all perhaps, if it was decreed upon you fighting, then not you fight, and what for us that not we fight in the cause of God, while already we were driven, evicted from our homes and our children, yet it was decreed upon them fighting, then they turned away except a few among them, and God is nowhere aware of the transgressors. Okay.
Did Muhammad see it?
No. Listen to this now.
Now, the reason why I'm playing such a video is to show you, because this dialogue, when I had with him, I never did a review for the respect I have for the Quran alone followers. So I never did a review when we had a dialogue. I left this video hanging because I don't feel comfortable dealing with somebody who is within. But now he just showed me that he's an enemy because he literally say he's at war with us. And he calls us semi-Sunnis. You understand? And he says we are going to hell. because we believe in the ritualistic aspect also. Are you getting my point? This is not a claim we cannot prove. Let them face babashuaib. I will prove it 100%. They don't understand the meaning of what ritual means. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me put on the screen. See this. You see, in this dialogue, to show you that he is ignorant, I told him, because I have translated the Quran. I know the Quran deep down. You are not even my match when it comes to understanding the levels that be in the Quran. What you do is to assume things. You go around assuming things in your head. Nobody will take you serious in the real world. I told you. I'm telling you for a fact. In the real world, the mushriks would Allah. Hey, Allah, mega mind. Okay, let me come back to the point. I'm playing such videos to show you how shallow-minded he is. He is very, very argumentative. He likes arguing for a fact. I'm serious to the fact. He likes arguing. This is a guy, if you ask him a question, he doesn't have knowledge of it, but he will argue. So I told him the verse you just read. I gave him a verse, chapter 2, verse 246. When God told the prophet, do you not see? It doesn't literally mean to see with the eye. He said, no. If God says, do you not see? You have to see it. And I said, open it. Read it. He read it. And I said, did Muhammad see it? He said, no. But he wants to explain. What do you want to explain? Now tell me, what do you want to explain? The argument is, what you see in the Quran, which is literal. This is what I want some of the so-called Quranists to understand me. We can agree in some instances. We can disagree. It's normal. Look, let me show you an evidence from the Quran that even the prophet, when he was alive, he brought evidence of something and disbelievers and believers disagreed. Let me show you something. This verse. In Quran chapter 8, verse 5, God says, just as your Lord brought you, Muhammad, out of your house. These guys, they say, but it doesn't mean household. So it means system. So here in this verse, so let's assume this verse, we are going to use the bait to mean system. So just as your Lord brought you out of your system with the truth, just as God brought you out of your system with the truth. They say bait doesn't mean house. When we are telling you these guys cannot fit in a real world, why don't you approach knowledgeable people and have a discussion, dialogue, so that you get to learn something? Okay. Just as your Lord brought you out of your house, talking to the prophet, with the truth, while indeed a group of the believers were averse. Then the next verse, arguing with you, Muhammad, about the truth, after what had become clear, as if they were being driven to death while they were looking. So now here it is telling you clearly, somebody can call himself believer, but he might hate the truth, even though he claims he's a believer. So when you read this chapter, the context is telling you about who true believers are. A true believer goes with the truth. Does not choose his own assumption, opinion, and say, I think, no, it cannot be prayer. I'm not going to pray. You wait when the evil forces get at you. Wallahi lazim. Hypocritically, you get up in your room and pray. You, especially mega mind. You let the evil forces attack you in your sleep. Wallahi. That day, you come and confess life to everybody watching here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please, it's no more following closely. You have to get up, wash, stand in front of God and bow down. Tell God to help you. You don't know. So we have believers who can have disagreements. It's normal to have disagreements. It didn't start with us. It started with the prophet. Even at his time, believers disagreed with him. They argued with him. Are you getting my point? So if you see believers having disagreement or argument, it's nothing new. We can resolve it. This is not like a fight where we are using guns and knives and suicide bombing and so on. No. We can resolve it. But how do we resolve it? Intellectual dialogues. Like the way I did intellectual dialogue with him on Sujud. Did you see him insulting us on sujud? No. Let him keep doing his physical, non-literal sujud. I don't care. I don't give a damn about that. We will keep doing our prostration to God because we have the humility for the one who created us. You will foolishly go to the kingdoms of other nations like Ethiopia, and so you bow down to a king. Listen carefully. You have people foolishly bowing down even to presidents and kings and their mothers and their so on. And yet when somebody is bowing down to God or prostrating to God, it's a problem for you. You wait till you are spiritually attacked. I'm serious. In your life, then you know you have to connect to God ritually. So now you can see physically how believers argue with, they are believers, but they argued with the prophet and they hated what the prophet said. So just because babashuaib and MFG, we advocate that there's a ritual aspect in the Quran, you go ahead calling us that we are going to hell. Hey, you say you are at war with us, mega mind. At war with babashuaib. You don't know the correctional officer, right? I was gentle with you in the first dialogue for the sake of the community. But since you are an enemy and a hypocrite within, I'll mess you up. Wallahi, no mercy. You don't know correctional officer. Go and see my videos against mushriks. You will learn the hard way. Wallahi, you will learn the hard way. Look, what I do it for the sake of God. I tell you why I do what I do. Quran chapter 5, verse 54. O you who believe, whoever among you should revert from their religion, from his religion, then God will bring forth a people whom he will love, and they will love him. They will humble to the believers, mighty against the disbelievers. They will strive in the way of God and will not fear the blame of a critic. Go and check my videos. babashuaib, I've never been scared of a blame of a critic. I never give a damn about what a critic thinks. No, go and check my videos. I'm not saying I'm arrogant or something. No. If you want to tag me arrogant, that's up to you. But since with God, I'm okay. Spiritually, ritualistically, consciously, I'm okay with God. Do whatever you want. Because you are not my God. And you are not going to judge me on the day of judgment. It is God who is going to judge me. So I'm God conscious. I don't give a damn what you say. But to go in front of the public and say things against us, yes, then I give a damn. That is the favor of God. He gives it to whomever he wills, for God is encompassing and omniscient. So me being a believer to God, I don't give a damn what you think about me. Because what I do is for God. If you like, hate me for doing a ritual salat. Hate me for that. Then you are the fool. Because I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it with my God. I'm calling people consciously. You think here, if I'm here foolishly calling people will listen to me? Do you think people will listen, watch my videos or sit down watching me if I'm misleading people? You have no clue. You sit down guessing things. Guessing the meaning of words. Following closely. Commitment. Connection. Duty. And so on. And you say you think Islam is for a father? Let's go to another video of this comedian. So to show you that he is very ignorant when it comes to even the Arabic or understanding what the Quran says. This guy doesn't agree with the rules of a language. So look here. I show you something. He doesn't agree with the rules of a language. Here.
Can we?
Oh, sorry.
So, which means you and I both agree that every language has its rules. Right?
No. Wait, how did we go to every language has its rules?
Yes, every language has a rule. You can't just enter somebody's language and use words the way you want. There's a rule.
No.
Now, you see, when you're talking with somebody and you have to come to a common ground to agree on something, and the person is in disagreement, even though he knows it's a fact, that is an argumentative person. And I'll tell you what. Let me show you the reason why I'm saying that. If you go to Quran chapter 3, verse 64, this is how God says we should call the Christians and the people of the book, the ones who claim to be the people of the book, right? And according to the context of the Quran, that's the children of Israel, the people of the book. But out of the children of Israel, we have people who claim to be Christians, and then we have people who claim to be Jews, and so on. So now let's see the verse. I'm going to show you something on this verse. Sorry. I go back to this here. Check this verse. In Quran chapter 3, verse 64, say, O people of the book, let's come to equal term between us and you, that we shall not worship except God, neither shall we associate anything with him, nor shall we take each other as lords besides God. But if they turn away, then say, bear witness that we are submitters. That is, if they turn away. You see how God wants us to call the people of the book to a mutual agreement, a term. Now, this is how you establish the truth. Let's come to an equal term. Okay. Now, in order to have a dialogue in a language, when you are having disparities in something and you are dealing with a language, you need to apply the rules of the language. You understand? So let me show you something here. Listen to what he said.
So, which means you and I both agree that every language has its rules. Right?
No. Wait, how did we go to every language has its rules?
So when I said you and I agree that every language have its rules, he says no. He doesn't agree every language has rules. Because this guy can just literally go to any language and start messing up. He says context. The book you are reading, who translated it for you? How did you get the context? Because one, you didn't study Arabic language to know what it says. So how did you know the context? And for people who didn't watch the dialogue, watch the full dialogue and understand what I'm saying.
Yes, every language has a rule. You can't just enter somebody's language and use words the way you want. There's a rule.
No. See?
You see how he's disagreeing to the fact. I'm based in Finland. I've been in Finland for closely to 15 years now. I speak Finnish language above average. It is the second most difficult language in the world. I speak about above average. I speak about 10 to 11 languages. Me, babashuaib, me sitting here, I speak 10 to 11 languages above average. So I'm good with languages as a gift from God. But what I'm telling you is, in order to get to study Finnish language, being the second most difficult language, I think it's after Chinese language. If you are given a dictionary, let me put the screen bigger. If you are given a dictionary and you are given a first page of a book in Finnish language, just a first page, and you are given a dictionary and you are asked to translate the full page and put everything into context and everything, wallahi lazim, you will never get it right. I'm not joking with you. I'm not joking with you. You ask any Finn out there, they will tell you. Ask any Finn that you know. You have a Finnish friend, try to find a Finnish friend or read about it. You understand what I'm saying. You can't translate it. You can't just sit down and say, oh, I'll just do this and put it into context because I see here, this here. Finnish language doesn't work that way. Every language has a rule. So you just approach the language coming from the back door and you say, oh, I can just take this book. I just need to check the context and understand. How? And then now you want to joke with the book of God. You go and sit in front of the people. You guess. I guess. You just go and guess the meanings. Oh, salat is not a prayer. It never means prayer in Arabic language. Yes, we are exposing you. Yeah, it means in Arabic, yes, prayer means salat. What is salat? Salat is the act of communicating with the deity. And when we say ritual, I'm going to break that instance down before I end this program. I'll show you why it is a ritual. You mark it on the wall. I will show you why salah is a ritual. Okay. So this guy doesn't agree with rules in a language. So maybe when I meet you face to face, I'll put you to the test. I'll give you a page in Finnish language, and then I'll give you a dictionary. You translate it, let it make sense without using Google Translator. The Google Translator doesn't give you 100% anyways. But I'll give you to let it make sense. Let's see. Without following the rules, we will see.
Words, you see, languages don't have necessarily something that is entirely particular to themselves, because the way languages are a tool.
He says languages don't necessarily have something which is particular to themselves. That's a lie. Languages do have something which is particular. There's some things you go in Arabic language, it is only particular to Arabic language. There's some things you go in English language, it is only particular for English speakers. There is something you go in Twi language, Hausa language, Swahili, and it is only particular to Swahili. That same instance doesn't jump to another language. Are you getting my point? But this is Mega Mind using his opinion to speak. That's how we did throughout our dialogue. Opinion, opinion, opinion. Let's go.
And those tools describe a phenomenon.
I understand. You explained this.
Okay, cool. But the point, the reason I'm mentioning this is because there is nothing particular about a language.
Why? No, wait. Why are you saying there's nothing particular? Who said there's nothing particular about a language?
I'll tell you how.
You see how he evades question. When I ask him who said there's nothing particular about a language, he will never answer that. In our dialogue, he never answered that. He's never going to answer that. This is what he did consistently in the dialogue. So after the two dialogues, I found out that guy is not my match. To be honest, I'm not saying this as a boasting or he's never my match. I just found out that I was just arguing with a baseless person. Like somebody who doesn't have any iota of knowledge to stand upon. Look, I played his videos in the beginning. You heard from his own mouth. He doesn't have any sophisticated way of knowledge or understanding the Quran. He just has to go through context. And how can you go to context when you don't understand the language? I don't understand. You are based in UK. The English language you are speaking, you came from Somalia to come and learn that language. You learned it. You went to the classroom to study the structure, the basics. Nobody is perfect in a language, but at least you need to understand the rules of a language in order to become an advanced student in the language. Same goes with the Quran. You can't just be taking simultaneously random translations, guessing words, and say it cannot mean this, it means this, just because you don't understand and you never find the better people to sit you down and teach you. You just play with words anyhow you want. And then you go around calling us semi-Sunnis. And then you say you are at war with her. I was expecting you to just write my name in the comment. You didn't even write. You see how I'm dealing with you. Now, I say, ping, write my name and see. I'll crush you, basa basa.
Because all languages deal with verbs, adjectives, nouns. What's so special?
So the rules are not important. Now, if rules are not important, then we wouldn't be dealing with adjective, verbs, or nouns. If you say the rules are not important.
No, I'm not saying the rules are not important. I'm just saying the rules are not particular.
Ladies and gentlemen, was that the question I asked him? Did I ask him if rules are particular or not? I didn't ask him that. This is how he kept playing the games of semantic in our dialogue. It is just, look, he wasted a lot of time.
To any language. The rules are based on its utility. And it's not beyond any other human being to understand how the utility works. I mean, besides that, to be honest with you, I have never made my argument about a particular language. And the reason for that is because it is really not relevant, considering that we are dealing with context and consistency.
Ladies and gentlemen, let this make sense to me. He doesn't argue about language because it is really, really not relevant. What kind of stupidity is that? Hey, mega mind. So look, the reason why I didn't do a post review on this dialogue because of the respect I have for some of the people who share the same values as him. But to be honest, if I have to do full breakdown on these people, I'll mess them up. They have no basis in the argument. So at the end, look, listen to what he agreed that they are opposed to a language. Listen to what he said.
So as long as I have context, and as long as I can be consistent throughout the Quran, I will not be handicapped by a language. I get.
Then why do you go to the lexicons and dictionary finding meanings? This guy is a bozo, ladies and gentlemen. Hey.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Oh, mega mind. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
No, first of all, I don't want us to stay on the context issue and the subject issue because we've already spoken about that. Let's leave that in the part one. The issue is, I only ask a simple question. You and I agree that every language has a rule. That's all I want to know from you. Or you don't agree that languages have rules?
The rules are based on utility.
I'm asking a simple question.
Guys, do you see how they struggle to answer a simple question? Now, this is exactly what mushriks do. This was how I was struggling with him on the days of the dialogue. The guy doesn't answer simple questions. I didn't do this dialogue because he was my match. No, he's not my match. I did the dialogue because I want his group to see that this guy is empty-headed. I'm serious. That's why I comported myself. Just listening to him, he amazes me. I was looking at him. You can see the way I was looking at him. I was like, this guy, is he serious? So in the dialogue, I didn't want to be laughing at him or something because he sounded stupid to me. I'm serious.
I didn't say explain.
Okay.
I said every language has a rule.
Sure.
Good. That's all I wanted.
Sure. But can I just say one thing though?
Still, after saying sure, he still wants to say something contrary to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to this word, ritual. I showed you in the Quran, there's the word rituals in the Quran, and the singular form is sha'ira. It exists in the Quran. Chapter 5, verse 2, chapter 22, verse 36. Go and check the root word. Go and check the word itself. Investigate. Go to the classical version of Arabic. Go to the modern standard Arabic. The word exists. Rituals are in the Quran. If you don't know it, shut your beak and learn till you get to that stage. And you say there is no ritual connection with God. Wait till the evil forces attack you. You will learn how to get up at night, wash yourself, and call God in pain. Watch for yourself. So let's understand this. I take this to the page. This is a ritual. Now, when you go to dictionaries, dictionaries can give you breakdown, either meaning by law, meanings by in general, meanings when it comes to maybe informal, formal, and so on, right? So when we say ritual, we are talking about the prescribed procedure for conducting religious ceremonies. That's ritual. An established ceremony prescribed by a religion is called ritual. So, ladies and gentlemen, the salat, has it been prescribed to the believers or not? To establish salat. It has been prescribed that establish salat. It has been ordained to us. Establish salat. Because remember, it is the prescribed procedure for conducting religious ceremonies. So now let's take the example. Chapter 5, verse 6. In chapter 5, verse 6, this is what God says here. God says, "Oh, you who believe, who have believed, when you get up for the salat, then he says, then wash your faces and your hands to the elbows and wipe with your heads," that is by using the same water. Then he says what? "And your legs." Yeah, no problem, Rachel Green. "And your legs to the heels. But if you are unclean, then cleanse. And if you are sick or on a journey, or one of you comes from the toilet, or you have touched women and cannot find water, then aim at a nice field and wipe it your faces and your hands. Therefore, thereof, God does not intend to place any difficulty upon you, but he intends to purify you and to complete his blessing upon you. Perhaps you will be thankful." Verse 7. "And remember the blessing of God upon you and his covenant by which he assured you when you said, 'We hear and we obey.' So beware of God. Indeed, God is aware of the essence of the bosoms." Now, remember the covenant God took with, let me go here, Quran chapter 5, verse 12, for instance. Here, do you see the covenant he took with the children of Israel? I'm going to show you the covenant. For God had already taken a covenant with the children of Israel, and we delegated 12 chiefs, that is leaders, among them. And God said, "I am with you if you establish the salat, give the zakat, believe in my messengers, honor them, and lend God a good loan. I will atone your bad deeds for you. I will atone your bad deeds for you, and will admit you into gardens beneath which rivers flow. But whoever among you disbelieves after that, then he has strayed from the straight way." Okay. So now, when we go back to chapter 5, verse 6 up to verse 7, when God is saying, "Remember my covenant," there is the same covenant he's also giving to the believers. So when he says, "And remember the blessing of God upon you and his covenant, by which he assured you when you said, 'We hear and we obey.'" We have obeyed, we have heard, and we have obeyed, right? Okay. So beware of God. Indeed, God is aware of the essence. So now he gave you the washing, the ghusl, when you are getting up for the salat. These are all spiritual aspects that gets you to connect to God. For people who don't understand why I'm saying spiritual, go to chapter 58, verse 22. In chapter 58, verse 22, the word spirit is used, and I'm going to make sense out of it right now. It says, "You will not find a people who believe in God and the last day befriending those who oppose God and his messenger, even if they were their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their tribe. Those are the ones in whose hearts he has decreed the faith and supported them with a spirit from him." So the word ruhin, that is a spirit. That is the spiritual aspect of connecting to God. So God has decreed the faith in your heart, and he will support you with the spirit. You need the spiritual aspect to connect with God in order for evil forces. Since there's spirits, there's good spirits, there's evil spirit as well. So you need a good spirit to be connected with you. You need God to support you with spirit from him. Are you getting the point? Okay. So now in this verse that I just gave you, it has a spiritual connection with our faith and the spirit to God. So that's the spiritual. Now, in order to stay in constant connection with God, that is why he first of all said he should do the washing, chapter 5, verse 6. This chapter 5, verse 6. O you who have believed, when you get up for the salat, then wash. Okay, so now, what is this in English language breaking down to? Is it not a ritual? Because when you read the context, I'm going to show you what context. This guy is talking about context, and yet is empty-headed. If you start from chapter 5, verse 1, when you go to verse 2, that is when it mentioned the rituals of God. It says, "Oh, you who believe, do not dissolve the rituals of God." Do not dissolve it. But yes, we have people who will dissolve it. They will tell you there is no sacred month. There's no month which is sacred, dedicated to God. There is no month called Siyam. There's no Siyam like fasting, abstinence. There is no abstinence in the Quran. They will tell you there is nothing like Hajj, pilgrimage. No, it doesn't exist. They dissolve it. They will tell you there is no salat, prayer. No, it's not. They will tell you there is no ritualistic aspects of Islam. God is saying, "Oh, you who believe, do not dissolve the rituals of God." I just showed you the meaning of ritual on the screen. Let's go back. I gave you the meaning of a ritual on the screen. This is the meaning of a ritual. A ritual is the prescribed procedure for conducting religious ceremonies. So the washing you have to do before Salat, is it a ritual or not? Ladies and gentlemen, type in the comment section. Ritual, it means the prescribed procedure for conducting religious ceremonies. The second meaning, an established ceremony prescribed by a religion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do we see the act of prescription for the washing before Salat? Is it there or not? If it is there for the believers, as we see in Quran chapter 5, verse 6, can we call it a ritual or not? Is it a ritual or not? It is a ritual. Yes, it is a ritual. So now let's go back to the notion of Salat. Salat on its own, it never started with us, this modern day and age. So I take you to Quran chapter 2, verse 2 to verse 5. Oh, sorry, I go back. Let me put it well. Quran chapter 2, verse 2. And I'm going to read up to verse 5. Then you will see what God says. Okay. So in Quran chapter 2, verse 2. Yeah, thank you, Brother Jam. Yes. That is the book wherein there is no doubt as guidance for the pious. Verse 3. Who believe in the unseen, establish the salat, the litany, and from what we have provided for them, they disburse, meaning you give charity. People will tell you there's no charity in the Quran. You don't need to give zakat. Zakat doesn't mean charity. For people who don't know the meaning of zakat, let me tell you what zakat means here. It's the money you give in order to gain purity. Chapter 92, verse 17, right? I'm giving you the meaning of zakat. But the most pious will shed from it. Then it says, who gives his wealth to purify? Allazi yuti ma lahu yatazakka. When we say zakat, it is the wealth you give for charity in order to purify your own soul. You help somebody in order to purify yourself. That is what zakat means. So when God says wa'atu zakat, you give the charity. The charity is the act of giving in order to purify yourself. Right? So that is allazi yuti ma lahu yatazakka. Who gives his wealth to purify, and not for someone next to him to repay with a favor, except seeking the countenance. That is the attention of his what? His Lord the highest. Okay, now let's go back to the verse I was reading earlier on. Chapter 2, verse 2. When we go downwards to verse 3, it says, who believe in the unseen and establish the salat, and from what we have provided them, they disburse. Who believe in what has been revealed to you, Muhammad, and what was revealed before you, and they are certain of the hereafter. Those are upon guidance from their Lord. That is, the Quran is from our God. So we are upon the guidance. We follow what God says. Okay. Those are upon guidance from their Lord, and they are those who are the successful. Right? Okay. Now, those people telling you there is no ritual in Islam, did Salat start with us? The answer is no. Salat started with Abraham, mention it, Isaac, Ishmael. Let me give you some of the examples. This is Abraham here. Quran chapter 14, verse 40. This is Abraham here. He says, Lord, make me an establisher of the Salat, the litany, and of my offspring. Our Lord, so accept my invocation. Right? Okay, so Abraham told God to make him somebody who established Salat. So Abraham, we are following, remember, he's our role model. He is our leader. He is our imam. Quran chapter 2, verse 124. So we are following his footsteps. That's why God says, follow the creed of Abraham. Chapter 3, verse 95. God has spoken the truth. So follow the creed of Abraham. Because he was not an idolater. He was not a mushrik. Okay. Now, so Lord, make me an establisher of the Salat and of my offspring, our Lord, so accept my invocation. Okay, now we saw Abraham. Now we can go to his son, Ishmael. Let's go to Ishmael. Chapter, verse, is it 132? Let me go here. Yes. Yes, we can use this one. Just a second. Yeah. Ishmael. Yeah, let me see if I remember the verse. I think it's in Quran chapter 20. Yeah, it should be in this verse. Let's see. Here. So Ishmael was commanded, he says, and mentioned in the book Ishmael, indeed, he was truthful to a promise, and he was a messenger and a prophet. And he used to command his family to the salat and the zakat, and he was pleasing to his Lord. So we see the son of, the son of Abraham, Ismail, he also established the salat, right? Salat was not only Abraham. Salat didn't only start with Muhammad or start with us. It is generational thing. It is a ritual. That is what a ritual is about. It's prescribed to us. It wasn't just there randomly. It has been given to believers to do. I can give you so on and so on the list of the prophets. Okay, let me make it short so that I don't take my time. Let's go to Moses. Chapter 20, verse 14. God was talking to Moses. This is what he said. He says, indeed, I am the God. There is no God except me. So worship me, that is, serve me, and establish the salat for my remembrance. Not for following closely, for my remembrance. So we establish salat for the remembrance of God because you are in communication with God. You understand? So for the remembrance of God. Okay. So we see that is Moses. Then we go. Where is Muhammad here? Then we go Muhammad chapter 29, verse 45. Then you see it has been passed down, generation coming down. So now Muhammad, God told him, recite what has been inspired to you of the book and establish the salat. Indeed, the litany, that is the salat, restrains obscenity and abomination. Because you are taking in the salat, we use the book of God. We recite from the words of God. So in the words of God, it restrains, right? It restrains obscenity and abomination. And likewise that God himself does that. Quran chapter 16, verse 90. So somebody will say, how does the salat, why comes people are doing the salat and he doesn't refrain them because they are not believers? Remember, salat is for believers. I repeat, salat is only for the mu'mins. It's not for everybody. Salat has never been for everybody. Whoever else is doing any other salat is not from God. The disbelievers in Quran chapter 8, verse 35, that's not what God asked them to do. The hypocrite in chapter 4, verse 142, that's not what God asked them to do. Salat is only for believers, chapter 4, verse 103. Right? Okay. So now God is telling the prophet, Quran chapter 29, verse 45. Recite what has been inspired to you, Muhammad, of the book, and establish the salat. So indeed, the salat restrains obscenity and abomination. Somebody will say out of the Quranists who says there's nothing like a ritual prayer. They will say, how does the salat, because you are not a believer, so the salat doesn't do anything for you. So you keep doing what you're doing. It's for believers. If you are a mushrik, that's up to you. If you are a pagan, that's up to you. But it's for believers. Now, this is how God also commands a similar thing, because you are going to use the remembrance of God. Remembrance of God, we get much of it from the Quran. So now when you go to the Quran, chapter 16, verse 90, God is going to say the similar thing he said in chapter 29, verse 45. Check the verse. Indeed, God commands to justice, goodness, giving to the relative, and forbids obscenity, abomination, and oppression. He admonishes you, perhaps you will take heed. So when he says, indeed, the salat restrains obscenity and abomination, because in the salat, it is about remembrance of God. We are going to read from the book of God. Then after that, you can make dua to God. You understand? Now here, when God himself said in Quran chapter 16, verse 90, he does likewise. Now tell the Quranists out there who are saying that the salat doesn't restrain from those things, how does God also restrain people from doing that thing? Because he forbade you, so by reading from his verses, you will see that. That's why he says, recite what he has revealed and establish the salat with it. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I went step by step to show you the concept of salat. Now, concept of salat has been passed down from Abraham, his descendants. It keeps going. Moses, it keeps going. Even Jesus did salat. Okay, let me show you Jesus again. I didn't show you Jesus. So Quran chapter 19. Let me show you Jesus so that maybe the Christians are also watching. Let me show you Jesus. Jesus is also did salat. So Jesus, where are you? Jesus. Yeah. Quran chapter 19, verse 31. And he, Jesus, he God has made me blessed wherever I will be. Then he says, and has ordained for me the salat and the zakat as long as I live. Do you understand? So even the salat was passed down from Abraham, Ishmael, Moses, you mentioned them. Then it came to Muhammad. But it doesn't stop there, because God still told the believers here. Quran chapter 14, verse 41. The Quran is sweet, Papa, when you understand it very well. He says, our Lord. In Quran chapter 14, sorry, I made a mistake here. Let me put the verse. Is it here? Verse 31. Sorry, chapter 14, verse 31. Yes. In Quran chapter 14, verse 31, this is what God asked the messenger to tell the believers. He said, tell my servants who believe to establish the salat and disburse from what we have provided for them secretly and publicly, before a day comes wherein there is no transaction nor friendship. So salat can be done secretly, salat can be done publicly. This giving charity can be done secretly, giving charity can be done publicly. So in order to see how Zechariah did his salat secretly, I'm going to show you. Quran chapter 3, verse 38. I'm going to show you how he did his secret salat alone. When you start from Quran chapter 3, verse 38, this is Zechariah. It was there Zechariah invoked his Lord. Grant me a good offspring from you. Indeed, you are the hearer of invocation. Verse 39. And the angels called him while he was standing in prayer in the salat, in the sanctum, that God gives you good news of John, confirming a word from God as a leader, stringent, and a prophet among the righteous. That's the Zechariah. Now, in order to show you that it was a secret call, I take you to 19, verse 3. Here, when you start from verse 2, it says, mention the mercy of your Lord to his servant Zechariah when he called his Lord a secret call. This is a ritualistic thing you do. You call God spiritually, privately, connect with God. It's a prayer. What does the prayer mean? the act of communicating with a deity. Of course, salat is a broader concept, but you can do salat by praying to God alone. Then you let some foolish people who have no basics in Arabic, who have no background in Arabic, going out there and you calling people semi-Sunnis. I dare you, give me a call. I'll bring you to my platform, because the last dialogue we did was on your platform. 2 dialogues, I went to your platform because I've never been scared of anybody's platform. But this time, you guys, you better come to Correctional Officer's platform. I'm waiting. So when he called his Lord a secret call, yes, so salat can be done privately and can be done publicly. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, what is the meaning of a ritual? It's the customary procedure which has been prescribed for religious ceremonies. It passed down from Abraham coming down. God asked us to do it. So when we say it's ritual, we are not telling you to go and follow Sunnis. You are a fool to think we are following Sunnis. To go to the extent, mega mind, you calling us semi-Sunnis. You say you are at war with us because we want to do a ritual where God tells us to establish in the Quran. Yes, salat can mean dua because they share the same sin. They are synonymous also. So you can use your salat to call on God. You can do dua to God privately. Don't let any foolish person tell you it's the only school sessions. If I catch you, you will show me where it says school sessions in the Quran. Bozo like you, maga mind. Ladies and gentlemen, this is babashuaib, the correctional officer. I'm called correctional officer for a reason. Tell them to give me a call. Let me put my number on the screen here. This is babashuaib's number. Below on the screen. Anybody who says there's no ritual in the Quran, the word ritual is in the Quran. Sha'aira, go and look up the etymology of the word. It's in the Quran. The word sha'aira is used in the plural form. Singular form is sha'ira. It's rituals. It's in the Quran. Salat itself is a ritual. God says, do not dissolve the rituals of God. Don't let some foolish people out there dissolve the rituals of God for you. You need to connect with God. That is by prayer. Wallahi lazim. I repeat, if you are not spiritually connected to God through rituals, you will be struck down by evil forces. Wallahi, nobody can save you. That day you hypocritically be lying on your bed, crawling out of your bed, going to your washroom, washing your faces, your hands. You come and stand in your room alone. You call God secretly by force. You see, mark it on the wall. We are advocating for how people can connect with God. You go out there, you say you are at war with us. You are a man, give me a call. Let's have a dialogue. Come to my platform. I'm not going anywhere. Here, on my platform, because you have to be famous on that. I'm triple mega mind your head. Bozo like you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Correctional Officer. If you have never seen this side of babashuaib, I'm doing it like I told you, I do it. My inspiration comes from the Quran. I love the Quran so much that I don't want any bozo playing with people's conscience and thinking that since we are quiet, we are scared. I will mess all of you up. Your leaders who invented the following closely, go and ask them why they don't call babashuaib for a dialogue. They will tell you why. You don't know me, right? Ask the mushriks, they will tell you about babashuaib. Why babashuaib is a force to reckon with. Show you some of the ignorance of people. You see, this person went to Sha'aira and he says it's derived from, now this is the ignorance. A word derived from somewhere does not make the meaning the same as where it's derived from. Look, this is my problem with people who approach dictionaries in Arabic language, and they are so dumb and foolish in understanding how Arabic language works. When a word evolved from does not mean the meaning stays the same. It evolves. It changes with time going forward. That is why we have the etymology of words. Look, babashuaib, I have parents. 2 parents gave birth to me. Me coming from my parents does not make my parents me. Neither do I become my parents. No. Babashuaib is babashuaib. My parents are my parents. Coming from them does not mean we are the same. Are you getting my point? So let me give you the example. When you go to the word hakama, hakama. For instance, Quran chapter 6, this word. Quran chapter 6, verse 114. Do you see this word on the screen? It's hakama. Hakama. In this, because it is used with the fatatain, so it has been used as a noun. So here, hakaman, it means a judge. But when I want to use the root word itself, it's hakama, without the man. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example here on the screen so that you know how words work in Arabic. So now I go to Arabic and I share the tab here. So I'm going to use hakama. So we find ha-ka-ma. This is the root word. Now, the root word is used as a verb. So used as a verb, here it means to judge, to command. Then you go. If the word form changes, it becomes something else. You can see here, tahakkum, it has been used as control. Mahkamat, it has been used as, or mahkam, it has been used as court. Then it goes, hukumat, used as government. Then it goes referee, it goes reinforce, it goes ruler, it goes hikmah, then it becomes wisdom. Then it goes hakim, it becomes wise. This is the etymology of words. Words evolve when they have prefix and the affix, the suffix, whatever, adding to the words, that changes the words as time goes on. Just because it comes from the root word, the meaning does not remain where it is. It evolves. It's like a tree. You plant a seed, it stems out, it germinates, and then it has branches. The fruit is not the tree, and the tree is not the seed. It's different, but it becomes something else. Do you understand? So when I see people, when I say sha'aira, this person put sha'aira, then he says sha'aira is derived from roots sha'ara. So if it's derived, what do you mean by that? Which generally means to feel, to sense. Does that mean it's remain like that? Just because it's derived? If a word is derived, doesn't mean it's remain like that. You have to understand the etymology of words. You did it with English language. Why can't you do it with Arabic language? Anyways, so what I see people doing, like the last time I did a video and I used the word fans. I used the word my fans. Some people got offended. They say, no, you can't use the word fans. Fans come from the word fanatic. But what you don't know is the etymology of that word. Fans stands on its own as a noun. Fanatic stands on its own as a noun. What you have been taught in the past is, yes, it comes from fanatic. No, now it has changed because words evolve by time. So I'm going to show you the difference on the screen. Now check this. So here, so I share this screen here. Now, I can increase the page. Now I put a word fanatic. This is a fanatic here. A person who is extremely enthusiastic about and devoted to some interest or activity. Who is extremely. Now we go to a fan as a word. Or let me use the word fans. Oh, sorry. So here, yeah. So a person who has a strong interest in or admiration for a particular person or a thing. Now, this is a fan. So fans, right? Now, some people have been taught in the past is they think fanatic, so automatically with the word fans which has been created, it means the same thing. If a word is derived from another word, does not make it the same meaning. So now I'm going to do something on the screen. Then you understand what I'm doing here. Let me put copylot, right? So I put copylot and I go copylot. Now, if you can see the screen here, oh, it's too small. Let me try to maximize it and see. Is it visible enough? Okay, this one. Okay, so I asked the AI, are the words fans and fanatic the same? He says, while the words fan and fanatic are related, they aren't exactly the same. Fan, this term is short for fanatic and generally refers to someone who is enthusiastic, admirer, or supporting of something like sports and band. Fans show support through activities like attending events, wearing merchandise, following news about interest. Then it goes, fanatic. This word has a more intense connotation. Ladies and gentlemen, are you checking the screen? The word fan, when it's used, is different from the word fanatic. Even though they derive from each other, is derived from this, but it's utilized differently. Just because a word is derived from another word does not make the meaning the same. People should understand how etymology works, for God's sake. So now, he says, this word, the fanatic, this word has more intense connotation. It describes someone with extreme, often uncritical enthusiasm or zeal for a cause or activity. Fanatics can sometimes be seen as having an obsessive or irrational level of devotion. That is a fanatic. It is not the same to saying someone is a fan. I can say I'm a fan of a food. I'm a fan of this cup. I'm a fan of babashuaib. I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of babashuaib's Wednesday program. I'm a fan. Look, I use the word fan. Some people word berserk. So this is why you need to understand in which context a word is used. There is nothing wrong with saying fan. I'm a big fan of this. I'm a fan of this. There's nothing wrong. As long as the word fanatic is a noun on its own differently, and the word fan is also a noun because it's the etymology of word. You need to understand how words evolve. Certain words are used in the ancient version of English. They might not be used now because it evolves and changes. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Megamind, he made us reach almost 4 hours. I didn't want to go that long. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I appreciate your presence. I'm going to TikTok. I might not stay there for a long time. So now this is the fan of Ahmed here. He says, I agree with Ahmed when he says you can mean it's anything you want as long as you prove it. You try. I asked him to prove. He couldn't prove. I asked him. I read a verse and I said, prove it. Did he prove anything? Nothing. To let it mean anything you want it to mean. That's foolishness. You don't go in someone's language and then say you go take a word and then let it mean anything you want it to mean. That's not how language works. I don't know what kind of foolishness this guy is teaching some people. They seem to agree with him, though. Thank you. Anyways, thank you very much. Ola Akim, he says, I hope it's letting now you can appreciate the beauty of the difference in the meaning. Yeah. A word has to match with a sentence and a paragraph and a lesson too. Yes, exactly. He says, Megamind unleashed the energy in Baba. Yes, he did. He did. Megamind brought my energy out. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your presence, and thank you for the support. Also, people like Megamind, they are jealous of me. They hate me so much. You can see the hatred. He spewed it out. There's something that I want people to understand. Look, love can be faked. When somebody says, I love you, they can fake it. But wallahi, hatred is always real. When somebody hates you, it cannot be faked. They show it in their mannerism, their speech, whatever they say about you. You understand? So hate is real. So don't think people say they are believers. Oh, I'm a believer. I follow the Quran. So that means they don't have these evil traits along with. They do have it. They will reveal it. They can never hide it. You understand, ladies and gentlemen? So what I'm doing is babashuaib has never been scared of anybody. I'm here. I told him, let's have a dialogue tomorrow. If you want, let him still contact me. We can have a dialogue. If only he will be civilized, just like he tried doing the last time. Yes, it was good. If he will be civilized, I'll bring him here tomorrow. So let him contact me. I'll bring him here. Because the last time we did dialogue, 2 times, I went to his platform. This time, we are going to put him on the camera, civilized manner. He is going to prove everything he said. That there's no ritual. He will make sure he gives us the meaning and where he got it from. Wallah, he will prove it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to TikTok. For those who don't have TikTok, I'm sorry about that. But thank you all for attending. It was fun today, at least. I know it was fun. So till we meet again next week, if you cannot join TikTok, then see you next week, God willing. Or maybe wherever you see me on the platform, right? Thank you for your time. I appreciate Abu Suleiman, you are my biggest condition, not Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is where I bring the topic to an end. Maverick has, sorry, he said I should call him Maverick or else, so I have to call him Maverick. I don't want problems. So Maverick has just warned me. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the support. I appreciate that. God bless you all till we meet again next week. But join me on TikTok if you are here. You're welcome to enjoy the show. Peace.